All right, friends, welcome back to the homestead. Here's for our next installment of What the Heck's Going On. What's happening? I wanted to show you our compost pile. So I did another ring here. Like I showed you all last week over there, this is a bunch of manure from the cows. This is a bunch of different things, but this is a couple years old. So this is some of the manure from our first year in the cow pen. This is a chicken clean out. This is a whole bunch of garden waste. And this year, this stuff grew just amazing plants that grew out of the top of it. All tomatoes that we had thrown in mainly, some pumpkin. But they grew really good. So I stripped the very top layers off because we had kept throwing stuff in here this year and a little end of last year, and that's not ideal. You kind of want to build it and let it break down so that you have like a, I don't know, the analogy I've always heard is like you wouldn't bake a cake halfway, pull it out, and then add some more dough to it or batter. So I didn't mix it in, but it just sat on top. So the cake baked underneath. So what I did was I opened this up and I raked off the top and cut the layer, the unbroken down layer off. And man, oh man, let me see if I can get you in here. This stuff is some of the best looking compost I have ever had. Look, we got wormies. Can you see those? Am I getting it right? There's a worm right there. Anyway, not a big worm, but this stuff is like, there's still some stuff in there, like black gold though. Look, it like clumps together. I don't know if that's all it clumps together, but then it crumbles again. So that's some pretty nice compost. I'm told that like clumping together almost like clay but still crumbling is a very good thing. That's what you're looking for. I don't know if that's all the worm castings in there, because I think worm castings do that. But I'm so excited that it worked. Composting worked. It works everywhere. But it wasn't that hard. I didn't really turn it that often. It did sit there for a very long time. So if you're ever concerned that your compost isn't ready, you can always leave it longer. We're using that on the garden. That's why it was somewhat dug out. And yeah, I'm really excited to finally have some of our own compost. Child chasing the chickens. All right, so today, now that we've hit the random compost point, let's check out the orchard. Let's just start on this side and work our way. We'll start here and work our way out toward the driveway. So check out these elderberries. They are huge, huge, huge. They're taller than me. Let's see, I'm 6.5 foot tall in there. If I reach up, usually I can reach about 8 feet. I'm gonna guess that one might have peaked like 8.5, 9 feet. It's huge. So we've got 6 plants here, or no, 5 plants here. You know what's crazy? This plant's the biggest. I took cuttings off of this plant at the beginning of the year and started to root some of them. And it just, I don't know if the taking cuttings helped. That thing freaking took off. It got all these branches on it. I'm gonna have to prune them this year. I think I can prune them down to nothing and they'll shoot up next year, because they were only 3 or 4 feet tall. And they got all kinds of extra shoots. So if you really like elderberries and you want some, let me know and we can make it happen. So I mean, this is the status of the grapes. Not great. This grape plant, Concord one, it's looking sad because it's the end of the year, I guess. It produced, but you know what? This year was terrible for berries. Let's see if I can hold this different. I was told, I gotta hold it over here. This is weird. I was told that I don't know if it was the drought, the dryness, we gotta flip this around while I talk. Look at how sad these ones are. I don't know what's up with these. I really need to prune around them and weed around them. I was told that the dryness was making it hard for the birds. So the birds were very much likely to go after your berries. So we didn't get a lot of the grapes or blueberries or anything. Most thing we got was these. Check out this mess. It's raspberries, which I planted, and I thought I didn't know they were gonna do this good. So they did really good. There's actually still, look, we got a fall crop of raspberries on here. A small one, but.
I want it.
You wanna eat it?
Huh.
Here we go. I'm gonna get one. These are so tasty. Anyway, we got more raspberries than anything, probably because birds don't like getting in there. As you can see, they are a disaster. I need to get in here and weed with some like long sleeves and leather gloves. So anyway, there's a break here with some like flowers and stuff. Once again, this needs a lot of maintenance. There's a blueberry right there. There's the first one. We planted more blueberries last year, and they're growing, but they're definitely getting not choked out, but they're not doing as well as they could if I weeded around them and give them some compost. So blueberry. I don't know. I think there's 8 blueberries here. Oh, freaking whatever that is, thistle. Yeah, more blueberries, and then our main blueberries, which they did really good. They produced a lot, but couldn't get out here fast enough to pick them. You come out and you get like a really small handful, and you'd see some that were like, oh, they're going to be ready in like a couple days. The birds get them right before they were ready. And that was just terribly unfortunate because last year we got just big, huge handfuls. The birds weren't so aggressive. I'd love to be able to put them under like a net or something. I don't know if this row is the best, but maybe we could fit a net in here. Let's see, we got that row, so let's hit this. Back here. There's just a smidge on this row. These are really hard to see because all the leaves fell off. These are ground cherries. Anyway, they grew a little bit. They didn't grow as much as I was hoping. There's another cherry, and these are giant weeds. I really need to get my fork in here and dig up because you rip them out, and these things have roots so deep you like can never get all the root out. We got currant, which grew quite a bit. It produced, actually those cherries produced too, but man, those tasted weird. And currants too. That is a weird flavor I am not used to, but was very interesting. Excited to have the diversity in the garden. So I'm not getting rid of it or anything, but that is a weird flavor. Rhubarb. Now this rhubarb is kind of small right now because I didn't know this. I let it go to seed and probably shouldn't have because that like diminishes the plant a bit. But we'll see. I'll pick off the seed head from now on, at least most years. I let it go to seed and I picked most of the seed. So I have just an enormous quantity of rhubarb seed in case, once again, if anybody wants rhubarb seed, probably get you some. And then I should probably warn you that our trees are probably overgrown. If any of you are pro at like pruning fruit trees, they're a little overgrown. Of course, at the end of the year, so they've done all their growing, but I didn't do the best job at pruning them in the spring. So pear tree produced quite a bit. Gave a bunch of those away. I'm not the hugest fan of pear. This is our false indigo. Holy crap, it's huge tree thing. I thought it was more of a bush. I thought it wasn't supposed to get more than like 4 feet tall. It's now like 8 feet tall. I'm gonna prune it down a whole bunch. In a storm last year, actually, it split. It was like a tree. So I'm gonna get in there and cut away that main trunk probably, and try to prune it down smaller so it stays more bush sized. So, and we might so this is like a false indigo, I believe, is a nitrogen fixer. And I don't know, we'll just use it as probably a chop and drop. I probably won't haul it away or anything. Probably cut it into pieces and lay it in as a chop and drop type thing. This poor plant, probably a peach. No, that's the Methley plum. I don't know if it's dead or if it just dropped all its leaves already. Some of these were struggling. And we'll see. This thing needs, it's got a bunch of grass growing up on it. This is another currant. It just looks sad because end of season. Everything's starting to, it's getting cool and stuff's starting to drop leaves. This is our big plum tree, or not plum tree, pear tree, big pear tree. Can't remember the name of this one. I think this one's I think it's a Anjou. I think that one might have been Bartlett, but I think they look different than a Bartlett. I saw a picture of a Bartlett the other day and I realized it's not what mine looks like. So I think this one's Anjou. Oh, there's one. We have a pear left. I think that's an Anjou pear. So, moving right along, we've got John Boy peach. Pretty sure that's dead. I don't know. Peach seem to be hit or miss around here, and apparently more miss lately than hit. Seems like everyone who has one, they eventually die, even if they grow for a while. This thing's doing okay. This is our Shiro plum. So I'd be excited to get some plums. This is actually growing. Okay, it looks like it needs, I'm gonna have to come in and prune. This is weird. I don't know what that is. Hopefully that's not something real bad. And that'll heal. Anyway, I'd be excited to have some plum. It looks like a lot of this de-leafing, I bet that's deer. That's why we got leaves up here. This is cool. So this isn't a weed. I planted this in here. So we were planning on making this a bed like this one, but obviously it takes a lot of maintenance. And with tiny children, that gets harder to do. This here is peppermint, and good gracious. Oh, it smells so good. This stuff is just awesome. Come through here and mow the edge of it around the edge of it with the mower, and it just like smells up the whole orchard. It smells so good. So this is another new plant. We're trying to fill in some spaces. When we bought here, there was definitely some stuff that had died and hadn't made it. So we're just trying to fill it in, see what we could do. This is Granny Smith apple. Seems to be doing okay. So hopefully next year it'll get a little more growth. And then we got something in here. I thought this was dead, but it apparently is not. My stake is doesn't have it on there, but I think that's a pawpaw. I think it's a pawpaw. I think it's pawpaw because I think this one over here was pawpaw too, and that one is dead. So, let's see. That's a crabapple. Think another crabapple. Never really get anything off of those. Although that one makes a whole bunch of little tiny fruits. So, coming out the end of the orchard here. Little thing here. Wasn't sure it was going to make it. I need to make little rings around these to keep the deer off of them. As soon as those trees pop out of the top of that, the deer just eat the top of the leaves. So they're never going to get to grow. I need to clean this one out. I believe these two tubes are persimmons. So that'll be really interesting. This tree here is a Honeycrisp. I know that one. That's a Honeycrisp. So hopefully that does okay. Need to get out here and mulch around them. Take away some of the, I don't know, the grass competition, if there is such a thing. Anyway, nothing much down here. This end of the orchard gets really wet. So I had like a rhubarb planted in here, but it's dead. That is a very enormous turnip. Let's see if I can get in there. Look at that root. So that's a, I don't know, what do you call it? A tillage turnip or a tillage radish? Tillage radish. And I put some in here just for, as like a cover crop type thing. And some more of them germinated, I guess. So this is also a pawpaw, but this one is very dead. Nothing in there. Super dead. I need to come in here and get this cleaned out if I want to keep it as a sort of garden bed at least. And then yeah, so just the rest of everything. Trees down here are apple trees. They all did meh. We had a lot of bugs and stuff in them. I didn't get anything off of any of them actually. Too much fungal situation. Maybe would have been good for some like maybe some cider or something. There's a lot of grass in here I really need to get rid of. This is another, I think this is actually a peach that survived. Yeah. Laval, Redhaven, Laval peach. This thing's actually surviving, so that's pretty exciting. I would love to get peaches. I love peaches. Oh, so under here, so this is not just grass. The reason this got all grassy is because I didn't tear it all out. There was a forest of tomatoes in here. Last year I had a tomato about right there, and it was a cherry tomato, and the thing just like dropped cherry tomatoes everywhere. So you can see we still have some in here. There was a forest of cherry tomatoes in here, and I didn't come in and pick any of them. I just wanted to see how they do. I should have picked them. But we got a huge amount of cherry tomatoes off all this, like hundreds of little plants. Little cherry tomatoes, not real big ones, but like bite size. This currant did amazing. Oh, and there's a pepper here too, which I think was a jalapeno. Yeah, look at that. Jalapeno pepper. So that did super good. Well, that did pretty good. Anyway, that did very good. This is, I can't remember what it's called. Can you tell by the flowers? I can't remember. Yeah, I know it's like an herbal medicinal thing, but it's got these really pretty multicolored flowers on it. And then we've got some like bee balm or is it bee balm? I don't know. Chives. There's definitely chives there. There's some more chives down there too. Chives do just really well out here in clumps. Lemon balm. That's what it is. Lemon balm, not bee balm. I don't have any bee balm yet. I want to get some of that though. I'll remember the name of it someday. It's the same stuff that was back there. Maybe you can tell by the leaves. They'll come back to me someday. As soon as I end the video. What is that stuff called? Can't remember anything today. Oh. Yeah, I forget. Yeah, you have days like that? You have too many plants? Can't remember the names of all of them? I know that one. I need to probably chop a bunch of it out. That's like a plant used to chop and drop. It's also a good medicinal. It's supposed to be good for, oh, it's comfrey. Comfrey, that's what it is. You need to chop and drop it around the trees. It'll be good for just like a natural fertilizer. And then a whole bunch more lemon balm. It sort of went crazy and took over. Another currant. Is what it is. Two of the currants I showed you are red and two of them are black. I don't remember which ones. I think they're labeled somewhere. Do we have anything else hiding in here? Yeah, some more chives. Lots of weeds. But that's what happened this year here. Not a lot. Whole lot of baby, not a lot of garden. Focused more on the live animals and less on the plants. So I guess this year's motive of taking better care of the garden we'll push off to next year and hope we can do better next year. Maybe when this kid's running around and can follow Xander. So anyway, thanks for following me around. I know this one's getting a little long. Orchard's never a short video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.